There's an opportunity with every weld that you do that nobody teaches. And the sad thing is, it only takes 5 seconds to do. Look at this welding pass right here. We can see that this pass is pretty decent, but we can see a few things coming along here still with it that we can work on. This is very common for a lot of people when they first get going with TIG welding. Laying down some solid heat, keeping it in control, and some filler material is a bit of an art. But if you can reach the point of being able to do stuff like this, you should be stoked, honestly. We can see for the amount of heat being used, there is a decent amount of filler material there. The distance of stepping and consistency doesn't look too bad. So honestly, to everybody out there who's learning, if you can reach a point where you're able to do this, you should be proud. However, let's compare it and take a look at this pass here. We can see that this one looks a lot more organized. Looking back at this little fella here, what is it that's going to help this one get to the next level like this one here? And there are a few things that are going to help you out with that. Let's check it out. Do you see how the line on the edge is pretty inconsistent from start to finish? The whole thing just kind of seems like it's fighting to take shape. It never really gets a uniform and consistent look to it. We can see a few areas that start to fill out a little bit more, but again, looking at this one compared to this guy here, we can see that there are definitely some improvements that can be made. Now, for anybody who watches my show on a regular basis, everybody knows the type of emphasis I'm going to put on this next thing here, and we're going to talk about the starts of your welds. Every weld that you do, no matter what type of joint, what position you're welding in, honestly, and even what type of metal, to be completely frank with you, the start of every weld, the start of every weld is the most crucial thing to get right. I call it the magic 5 seconds. Look at this pass right here. You can see this one lights up and then this person just gets ripping right away, bud. This is something that's really common. A lot of people are nervous and hesitant with hanging out in the same spot too long. Totally understandable. People are worried about burning through to the other side of the material. Completely understandable. This is what causes a lot of people when they're learning to flash up, give it filler, and then get ripping right away. However, I want you to give this a try using the 5-second rule. What's the thing that's going to allow you to hang out with this for those extra 5 seconds? It's going to be this little sneaky fella right here, the filler material. There is a bee in here. It is freaking November. This little dude was in here yesterday. We tried to catch him and get him out of here safely. Might have to murder him. If you use this thing properly, combined with a bit of time with this thing, you are going to buy yourself those precious extra 5 seconds, and you are not going to have to worry about popping through and burning through to the other side. Watch this start right here. Do you see how I light up and almost immediately I give it filler material right away? I give it a good dab too, but then I just wait and I don't move. Everybody who watches my channel knows the saying. I say it all the time: fill and chill. And I can't believe it. I started using this term to talk to my students when I was teaching them how to TIG weld, and then some famous basketball player had to start saying it in some printer ink commercials. I would make a big fuss over it because I've been saying this on my channel for years now, but I think this guy's lawyers might be a little better than mine, so I'm not gonna raise a fuss. As a matter of fact, I might even change my saying just to avoid any legal trouble. Fill and chill. So there we go, Shaq. We can be friends. Give me a call. I'll teach you how to TIG weld. The extra 5 seconds that you are going to use is going to completely blend the edge of your filler material into the base material. See how this edge is completely smooth between the two materials? A lot of times with stuff where I'm welding really hot, you might even see me do a double dip sometimes with my filler. Again, this just buys me more time. This is also something that's very common with stainless steel. Add a good amount of filler. It will buy you the extra time to let things blend out completely. And when I'm working with something really fun like this joint right here, this is a super fun one. This is a piece of pipe butted onto a base plate, and then I'm gonna run a fillet weld all the way around it. This is one of my favorite exercises to teach. And as you get going with something like this, it's gonna take a considerably longer amount of time to fully get things going. Giving yourself a little bit of extra filler every 4 or 5 seconds or whatever, this just allows you a little bit of extra time where you are predominantly heating up filler material, not base material quite as much. And this amount of time that you give yourself, especially with something a little more challenging like that joint, this is very crucial to getting the overall profile or the shape of your weld into good shape before you get going with the full pass. You are going to watch the edges blend out and become nice and smooth with that transition between the filler material and base material. And you are even going to see the cleaning action begin to smooth out and become more consistent. Let's take a look at the complete pass again. Do you see how the edges are nice and straight and established at the beginning? There's no adjustments that have needed to be made. Take a look at the cleaning action. This mimics and matches the bottom line almost exactly. I always say that if you see a good blended edge between the filler material and the base material, you will always see good and consistent cleaning action. And vice versa. If you ever look at somebody else's project, you see their cleaning action looking perfect, chances are you're going to be able to look and see the blended edge looking just as good. These two details always follow each other. So again, let's take a look at Mr. Impatient Pants over here. Do you see how this start literally gives 0 time for the filler material to establish and then for the amount of heat to balance with it? Looking at passes like this where we see the start looking a little wobbly, this is always just from an underdeveloped start to a welding pass. Literally 5 seconds at the start of that one would have made all the difference to fix it. You can see a lot of the time somebody gets going and then they have to start making corrections. When you have to make corrections and fix stuff on the fly, it makes it much more complicated. Do all the work to get everything established correctly at the start of each pass. Again, no matter what joint you're doing, look at some of these joints. These have intricate passes go on every which way, but every start has been developed properly. And when you have a start that is developed properly, there are less corrections and things you need to fix on the fly. As you flash up, no matter what joint you're doing, watch the edges of your puddle after you put the filler in, and then watch your cleaning action. You're gonna see this become smooth and consistent after only a few seconds with some good heat. Now that we've demonstrated this on flat plate a bunch of times, let's look at some more advanced work from my students. We can see some of this work is on actual structural shapes. Working around shapes like this requires your starts to be perfect if you're down with the consistency. If you have starts that are underdeveloped, you're gonna see gaps in between each stop-start. Not to mention, whoever is welding this stuff is gonna constantly be making adjustments and trying to get things to catch up between the heat and filler as they're welding. Just a ton of babysitting you don't have to do. Super annoying, right? All of these examples I'm showing you is actual work that my online students have done. One of the biggest philosophies I teach in my programs, as well as the book that I now offer. Every exercise in this book, for example, we all go back to the same fundamentals for every joint that we do, and it all focuses on proper starts and proper details of each start. This way, when you get going with every exercise in my book here, you're gonna be able to establish everything perfectly at the beginning and just chill. Imagine having that confidence with all the different projects and joints that you would like to weld. Pick up a textbook while they're available. They've already sold out once, they're gonna sell out again. Textbooks in school usually cost you $300 easy, and those textbooks are boring. These books are way better looking, they are cheaper, and it's an actual curriculum that you follow. You scan the QR code here on the bookmark and it opens up a whole online curriculum that follows the book page by page, chapter by chapter. You also meet all of us in there. We're all hanging out, chatting with each other. It's like a social media site that's private. There are no dickheads allowed. Nowhere else on the internet or anywhere where you can learn how to TIG weld like this. My wife and I package and ship all of these books from the shop here ourselves. This is no Amazon deal. This is no drop shipping deal. This is literally me and the crew that help me out here. Get your copy right now. They already sold out once. Get it before it happens again. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger today. I mean it. Do it. I'm Dusty James. Phil and Cho. We'll talk soon. Peace.